Welcome to our newest episode of Cass and Keys.
I'm going to put on my shades.
Do not put on your damn glasses. This is a fight about wearing sunglasses or not. And so
I'm going to put them on.
She got it last episode. This episode, I'm taking control and saying no. So it might be like, I don't know.
I might
turf
slip
wars.
them on.
It might, did you sneak it past me? So today's episode, so last week you saw, our last episode you saw was more about personal questions. This one's going to actually be more real estate focused because we got our first inquiry question request for an answer.
To actually talk about real estate, basically.
Yeah. Well, like people who watch us are like, hey, can we get a answer to real estate?
If you're realtors,
thank you.
Some real estate.
Thank you to the person that privately questioned or asked us. We really appreciate it, and we're happy to answer any questions.
We do know about real estate, actually, believe it or not.
We do. And your questions will always remain anonymous, so never feel embarrassed to ask us anything.
Yes.
So someone asked us, they go, listen, we look online, we see what Google tells us when we ask this question, but we want to know truly start to finish, how long does it really take to buy a home?
Right.
That's a great question because you
Have
look it
we
up.
ever asked ChatGPT that? What do they say?
The answer is typically like 45 to 60 days because that's the loan process. If you're getting a home loan, start to finish, that's going from when you went under contract to closing. And that's not the process. So we've had people...
That's a financial process if you go...
But not the whole entire process.
No.
So it's a really... when we get renters who say, I don't have to move for 6 months. And then I say, okay, well, we have to start looking now. And they say, well, what do you mean 6 months? I go, well, it's going to take you a month and a half. So now we're at 4.5 months. And do you think you're going to find the home in the first week, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I've had clients who've looked at one home, loved it, and bought it. Great. But that is very rare.
Yeah. That's far and few between. Especially in today's market.
What's your longest client?
My aunt. I think we're going on like 15 years. I don't even know if I had my real estate license when I started showing her property. I think we're going on 15 years and she hasn't found the right one. Okay. She's still looking.
I am not. I've had people like for a few years on and off. They start, they stop, they start, they stop. Personal reasons.
Yeah.
So I guess our answer would be typically predict 6 months. Actively, strongly plan to look for 6 months to start getting a soft feel of the market, kind of look at homes, and then probably about 4 months really start to finish. I would say you need like a good month to look at homes. And it depends on your work schedule. Can you only work on the week? Can you only look at homes on the weekends, or are you looking multiple days in a week?
Right. And your personal schedule. Like, are you...
Not us. No, them. Yeah. The client.
Buyer's personal schedule.
That's us. Yeah.
Are you, do you have to sell your house at a specific time? Are you switching jobs? Are you, moving because your kid's starting school? Like, there's all these different factors of the time frame you're in your personal life.
Absolutely.
So you have to kind of give yourself that mental window too. Like, I need to buy a house by June so my kids can start school in August, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then once you're under contract, assume another month and a half. So don't buy anything when you're under contract. Don't buy a couch. Don't buy a car. Don't buy anything shy of groceries. Don't do it. Because we will punch you in the jugular. Just kidding.
And this is like assuming everything goes well with your financing, everything went well with your inspection. I mean, there's certain steps that you have to get through once you put an offer on a house and it's accepted. But generally speaking, like buying a house, you would give yourself 6 months, right? From
mentally,
the time starting mentally 6 months for shopping. And then, maybe month 4 when you're down to like the 4th month or the 2nd month from your time. No, am I saying that?
You're right.
Then you start to get serious. Then, you start taking this a little more serious and you start narrowing down your location and your preferences. And then when we get down to like month 2, that's the time you have to put in an offer, on the long side, right? 30 to 45 days. Give yourself the full 60 days to put in an offer, have the inspection, go through attorney review, go through your financing, and then get to the finish line. That's really,
And celebrate.
and celebrate. Yep. Cheers.
Yeah, we all love a celebration.
Why not?
So, question that we have is, what real estate questions do you guys have for us? I mean, I don't want to say constantly, but I'm asked a lot, and I know you are as well. I have a really stupid question, and I always say to our clients, there's no stupid question. Like, you haven't done this before. I do this multiple times a week. Like, this is breathing to me, but to you it's new. There's no stupid question. Ask anything, but you might not be comfortable asking maybe your agent if you're in another state. If you're in suburbs of Chicago, it would be us.
Right.
Right. But, if there's questions you guys have, ask us, and we're happy to answer anonymously on this platform so that you guys can know, because how else would you know this information? It's our job to explain things to you.
That's what you're here for. I'm just here for the party.
No. Natalie's actually a really good agent, so she always downplays it. So, and you can tell sarcasm is our love language.
That is our love language.
Hardcore, and you will hear stories about it. But
yeah, but we could help you together.
Yeah, and honestly, we just love to talk about real estate. We love to talk about life and ourselves. Yeah. So ask away. Question below. Send us a PM or DM. Oh
or
God.
PM.
I was thinking private message.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually a
good
direct
too.
message because I'm freaking old as balls.
PM works.
So,
Send us a PM.
We'll be asleep then.
Chaos and keys.
See you later.